Oh boy, so recently, for some reason, the Cyberpunk social media accounts have been addicted to sharing their own stats about the player base. Like this one right here. Check it out. It says, since players were first unleashed on Night City streets, 13 billion people have been defeated by V. By comparison, the megalopolis has a population of 6.9 million. Kinda makes you wonder and think about life, doesn't it? But yeah, you know, a lot of fans of Cyberpunk, or, you know, just the community in general, have been seeing these social media posts and have been coming up with their very own stats for Cyberpunk 2077. And they are making Cyberpunk regret sharing their own stats. So we're going to dive into those stats in just a moment. Plus, we're going to be talking about Death Stranding and Cyberpunk because we got some really cool updates about that one. So let's do this. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good. And yes, we are talking about more Cyberpunk 2077. So first of all, let's start out with what is going on with the community right now. My God. You know, this whole social media campaign by the Cyberpunk Twitter has really backfired big time. So let's go over some of the stats generated by the actual player base, the legit stats. Let's do this. So this one comes from, this is the new sleeve. He goes on to show off this. It says, Cyberpunk by the numbers. 0% of players unlocked the mansion. Yeah, that's one of the things that was definitely cut from the game. Will we see it in the future? Maybe in the expansions, free DLC, whatever. But we are, you know, we have no news really about what's going on with the DLC. We are definitely in the dark. Now, this one right here also says, Cyberpunk by the numbers, 0 kills from wall crawling with the Mantis blades. 14,000 upvotes. Like, there are a lot of eyeballs seeing these posts for sure. A lot of people would love to see that sort of thing added back into the game. I would love to see like a class or, you know, some abilities dedicated towards wall running and being more nimble throughout the world. But anyway, we also have this one right here. This is by far one of the most disappointing elements for me personally with this game. It says Cyberpunk, by the numbers, 100% of players completed their life paths under 30 minutes. And I really thought for sure that the life paths with this game were going to be way more fleshed out. I remember just recently in the past few days, I actually rewatched the Life Paths trailer. And I remember how excited I was for that. But also this one really gets to me right here. It says Cyberpunk by the numbers, CD Projekt RED developers have spent 10 hours together with their families. Ouch, that is just honestly sad. Let me tell you what, that one actually stings a little bit. Now we also have this one, corrupt police are completely non-existent in Night City, which of course would be super unrealistic. And again, they advertise a lot of stuff that would showcase that the police would be corrupt or that there would be multiple factions of police under these groups, and that never did happen. Now we have this one. Let me know if you're in this group though. Sound off. We have 30,000 disappointed fans, including me. I'll probably buy this game again in a year or two. Is that going to be you? If they actually pull off a No Man's Sky revival, will you repurchase or at least re-download Cyberpunk 2077? Sound off. Now we have the old gen compilation right here. I love this one. Old gen compilation. Let's play it. Let's see what it says. 8 days only that it took for Cyberpunk 2077 to be removed from the PlayStation Store after the launch. 219 gigabytes of patches were needed for Cyberpunk to be playable on PlayStation 4. My God, 900p is the render resolution limitation of the game on PlayStation 4. Look at those polygons. Then we have this, due to poor technical quality of the game, Cyberpunk was absent from the PS Store for 185 days. That is no joke. Now, interestingly, as you guys may or may not have heard, ever since Cyberpunk was added back on the PSN Store, it has quickly been the most downloaded game on the PlayStation platform on the PS4 side of things. Ratchet & Clank currently is still the most downloaded PS5 game, but I still could not believe how many people were willing to re-download this game, considering all the controversies. But we also have this one, $0 spent on apartment upgrades. Again, before the game came out, CD Projekt RED did state in interviews they would be very interested in adding way more real estate for the players to goof around with. So hopefully we do see apartments added, I guess you would say, back into the game, since it seems like it was originally supposed to be part of the game. But yeah, let me know what you think of those stats, and let me know if you have any more stats of your own. Sound off in the comments. Now, let's talk about Cyberpunk and guess what? Death Stranding. Check out the headline right here. It says Half-Life and Cyberpunk content will be included in Death Stranding's director's cut and leaving Steam for the first time. This was exclusive content to the PC version of Death Stranding. That's going to be no more. It's going to be in the director's cut. And they actually had a trailer showcasing what we're talking about in terms of the Cyberpunk content. If we play it right here, check this out. It actually looks really, really cool. I love the bike. Dude, that looks sick. But there's some gameplay mechanics in terms of hacking that are being thrown into Death Stranding that are directly from the world of Cyberpunk. So it's going to actually add gameplay enhancements to Death Stranding, and I think it's a good reason to kind of revisit the world of Death Stranding. Now, honestly, I haven't even played this game, and it's a game that I think I want to hop into sometime soon with this director's cut for sure. But let me know if this is something that's going to interest you, if you're going to actually check out Death Stranding in the near future. Sound off again in the comments. But yeah, I think this bike looks absolutely amazing, man. I love that the Hideo Kojima is interested this much in the Cyberpunk universe. Perhaps he can actually create something in the future as well. Now, we also have some other news as well. Let's go over what you guys had to say about my previous video about Valve's Steam Deck, which was recently announced. But the biggest question is, can it run Cyberpunk 2077? That's the question I asked you all. Let's see what you guys had to say right here. So here's the video. Let's scroll on down to the comments. Benjamin Van He says, what makes this a worthwhile investment is the fact I do not have to buy new games for it. Most if not all my existing Steam library will be available, which in my case is 500 plus games versus barely 20 I own for the Switch. That is such a good point. You are ready to go with this Steam Deck, which is really, really cool. And of course, it's going to come with this dock, which makes it a direct competitor, in my opinion, to Nintendo Switch, since you'll be able to dock it up and connect to your TV in that way and just play it as a console if you really wanted to use your living room space for that reason. Now, we have Lawrence who says this, nah, I'm waiting for the next Soshi Boy handheld. Ben McNamara says, Nintendo couldn't deliver, but Steam can. I love how they waited after, like straight after. Yeah, they completely had like a counterpunch to Nintendo Switch's upgrade. Some people are really disappointed in that. Now we have B Vargas 78 who says, Nintendo, maybe we should have done a better upgrade for the Switch. ... Now Necrotisks, I think it is, says, but can the OLED run Cyberpunk? Probably not. I don't think so. Unless it's at super low settings, most likely, yeah. But yeah, also I did another video that I did not go over your top comments. I wanted to highlight those as well because there were some new updates recently from one of the developers, the lead quest designer of Cyberpunk 2077. Here he is, right here. Bloop. And he's been active talking to the community, and I did a video about his updates about the game. So let's load in those comments right now. It says, Randy says this, am I the only one still wishing this game makes a full comeback? I feel you, man. I really do want to see this game make a comeback. And I feel like they have a good base right now, and they could build off it, and the potential is huge for this to come back like, of course, No Man's Sky. So we shall see. Now, Flameville Bick says the following, I'll believe it when I see it myself. No leaks, enough talk. We need action. We want to see results. And you know what? I want to see a roadmap. I think it's about time we see a fully fleshed out roadmap. And it's interesting, not only do I want to see the roadmap, but also it seems like the investors want a roadmap. They want promises on paper and things to actually come to fruition. Now, we have Tommy Tuka, who says the following. He says, I wish we got attacked randomly. Night City is supposed to have an insane crime rate, yet no one has ever tried to rob or kill me yet. Yeah, you know, one thing I've noticed when exploring this world is that there's like these groups of gangs that are pretty much self-contained. They're not dynamically exploring on their own. And yeah, you never really run into that where you're walking around and you get robbed or you see a robbery or something like that. It's all in these groups that actually respawn as well. So yeah, maybe they can improve that in the future. Now, Abe Lee says the illusion of choice is not choice. Mikkel Javert says, who could have possibly foreseen that the toolset used to develop a third-person action adventure in a fantasy setting would not have worked just as well for an urban sci-fi FPS? I sense the sarcasm in that post big time. Let me tell you what. Gene Hawking says they still have not fixed the damn shadow for V. Yeah, they got some stuff to do. Roger Furlong says, I hope they pull a miracle out of their butts, but at this time, I really doubt it. You never know. You know, I thought the same thing about No Man's Sky. I thought it was just done. And it has made a massive comeback. So sometimes it does happen, but we'll see. I know that the Cyberpunk dev team must be under a lot of stress given that they've been hacked. So there's a lot of things that happened to CD Projekt RED that did not happen, of course, to, you know, it's called Hello Games? Yes, I think it is. No Man's Sky team, Hello Games. So yeah, that's another wrinkle in the story. Now, 1-2 says this, the game didn't need more time in the oven. It needed new management at CD Projekt RED. They are complete morons. I think it needed both. Honestly, it needed both. I don't know why it took them so long for this game to come out in the state that it did. Dion says the following, I haven't played Cyberpunk in several months, actively keeping up with the news about the game and waiting for new content that'll make me want to return. The game has so much potential, I want it to get better. I'm seeing this type of comment over and over again. There are people that are absolutely rooting for this game. I'm one of them, and I really hope that it comes together at least in time. But, you know, for now, we have this stuff to talk about. With how people are kind of having fun with the stats and poking fun of this whole thing. I guess, I don't know if it's considered a marketing campaign or what have you that the Cyberpunk Twitter handle is doing right now, but it has definitely backfired. As you can see, it's definitely backfired. People are making their own stats and it's going pretty viral. There's been several media outlets that have also picked up on this story. But anyway, there you have it. The latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077 and the community. Looks like the community is having more fun outside of the game, I guess you would say, right now. We'll see if that changes in the future. I'll keep you guys in the know and updated. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.